Hi, this is Michael Bean, and this is your myfreeactingclass.com lesson for Thursday, September the 17th. Today's going to be a shorter lesson because we're going to take a chunk of it to practice and do some workshopping of today's Actors Challenge scene. So if you want to do that, come back next Thursday and we'll do some of that. Before I jump into that, I'm going to make time for a little Ask Me Anything section. What do you want to know about? Go ahead, it doesn't matter how obscure or esoteric it is. If I don't have answers, I promise I will not pretend to know the answer, but I will hopefully point you at a place where you can find it. So is there anything, do you have any questions for yourself as an actor, about scenes or stories, about industry or practical things? What can I help with? Staying motivated during this time. I really have to make a list of previous lessons so that when good questions come up, I'm like, oh, watch this one and this one and this one. So Carrie Sandemersky, I don't know if you were here for her lesson, but highly recommended. Carrie Sandemersky, and I'll see if I can pull up the link to that one. I'm sure I've got it right here. Before I go, she's such an inspiring guest just because she is a true artist and a deep and poetic soul. She talked a lot about poetry. So in terms of staying motivated, my baseline is anything that keeps you enjoying it, right? Anything that feeds your enjoyment. I think the danger is to fall into the kind of discipline or the flavor of discipline that is militaristic, that is like, I have to do it every day, otherwise it's a waste of my time. And in terms of staying motivated, the best thing that I know to do is what genuinely feeds you. So if singing is what's feeding you right now, and that's the thing that you can do to help yourself stay motivated. If it's dance, if it's reading scripts, if it's finding a book, the Vancouver Public Library has a fantastic app called Overdrive, where you can download free ebooks. All you need is a public library membership. Ebooks and audiobooks, and so there's a lot of really good material in there. In terms of what's inspiring me, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I've been engaging deeply with a lot of anti-racism material because it feels important to me as a person to understand more about that, and it also is just so loaded with feeling. I've been getting my good cry in every day, listening to activists and the people who are doing important anti-racist work in the world, and talk openly about the pain and struggle of that, and sort of how far we have to go. And so those ideas are exciting me. And also there's this book that I think I flashed at everybody yesterday, the day before, but right. So the reason it's worth watching Carrie's videos because she's a poetic soul, and some of the things that inspire me are ideas and details, and so the things that fill me up, are so specific to me, but there they are. And so there's this book by a guy named Mark Brackett called Permission to Feel, and I've been loving this book, engaging with it, very deeply, as a parent, as an actor, and just as a human, understanding the way that he's the director of the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. And normally I'm suspicious of anything that's got an Ivy League stamp on it, but this person is just really interesting and has a lot to say that I'm finding really valuable. Oh, good. I found Carrie's copy of the link. Hello, dog. So Carrie Sandemersky, there's her YouTube video. I believe it might be one of those ones that is not publicly available on the channel. It might be one of those ones that you have to get to from a link. It's unlisted. So I would watch hers. She's one of my go-to people in terms of artistic inspiration. Artie, you said, is there work available for background or commercials? I don't actually know what the status of background is. I know that they're trying to keep casts very small and that they're rewriting scripts to make that possible. My suspicion is that there is very little background work to be had, that having a crowd of people standing around in the background is something that they're going to do with computers as much as possible. But I don't actually know. I haven't done background work since 2002, I think. And so that's one of those things where you would want to actually contact a couple of background agencies or look at their websites. Now, in the how to get a talent agent document that I shared a while ago, there's a section in there on extras agents. If you don't have that link, then I will put that again in the window here. So where are we? How to get a talent agent. How to get a talent agent. So if you're like, wait, what are the extras agencies? I don't know all of them, but if you click this link, how to get a talent agent, there is a page in there that's got background work. For commercials, yes, there's always commercial work. Commercials typically are self-tapes right now. And so my recommendation is that you, if you're interested in that, that you approach talent agencies, again, using that document. And I don't know if I've said this before, but I found myself talking to a parent about it recently, and I don't think this is cynical. I think it's practical, that a talent agent, remember, is a business person who only makes money if they sell the product they're selling. They only take 15% and only if their actors book work. So a talent agent typically wants to look at somebody's headshot or resume and see dollar signs. They just want to look at it and see something about it that makes them think, yep, this person's definitely going to make money for me. And they're a business person. They're allowed. That's the decision-making process. And so one of the things that makes people in that industry, the talent agents, go cha-ching, is if somebody just based on their picture looks like the kind of folks who are already on TV. And they're like, oh yeah, totally. I can immediately see where this person would fit on TV. And that's one thing that makes them see dollar signs. Now, if you fall into that category, you might find an agent really easily, right? You might get 6 people say like, yeah, cool. Like, here, come in for a meeting. Like, let's talk. The other thing that agents know is marketable is being very, very skilled. And so if you have like a more specific or more unique or like a look that is different from most of the folks who are on film and TV, but you are a highly skilled actor, eventually you will find a talent agent who looks at your headshot and is like, wow, that's a really interesting look. I wonder if they're amazing. And then they'll look at your resume in detail. Right now, the first ones will just look at your picture and be like, cha-ching, yeah, come in for a meeting, resume, sure, whatever. In the second case, they'll be like, doesn't really look like a lot of the people who book commercials or television shows, but it's such an interesting look. I can really see this personality here. I wonder if they're highly skilled. And that's when they're going to look at your resume. And they're going to see what classes you're taking, or what kind of theater you've done, or what kind of student films and short films you've done, or they're going to want to see a demo reel. They're like, well, let's just see 30 seconds of Candy acting because, if she's amazing, well, I know people who are highly skilled book work. Of course they do. And so you absolutely can do that. It just might take longer. And just to know that that is not personal, that is just the nature of entering an industry where that first pass is going to be very look-based. That's definitely not what the whole industry is based on, but is definitely what the first pass is. They go look at your resume or your headshot for 2 to 5 seconds, and decide based on their own biases whether or not you can make money. And that's why my answer to Dia's question is, if you want to do this, what are you doing to feed your own love of it? Like, how can you keep enjoying it over time? Because that's the thing that's going to keep you in the game, ultimately. What about headshots? Who's a photographer? So Artie, if you look in that document, how to get a talent agent, you will find a link to Rocket Repro. I think it's rocketrepro.com. And they did, or certainly used to, print headshots for most of the professional headshot photographers in town. There we go. That's a clickable link. They did or used to print headshots for most of the headshot photographers in town. So they have an excellent gallery on their website of different headshot photographers. And I try not to recommend any one headshot photographer because I've actually seen great headshots from lots of different people. Yeah, and they have different styles. And so this is one of those things where like taking headshots is an art unto itself. The one thing I can say is don't have a friend take them and have them be kind of like, headshots, or mostly as good as headshots. Because in that 2 to 5 second assessment of, does this person look like the people I see on TV? If you have a professional headshot by somebody who does a lot of professional headshots and knows exactly what they should look like, then that very slight actual difference in the look between your best friend who's got a great camera and a good eye, and a professional headshot photographer who's taken a whole bunch of them and knows how to set those up and make them look just right, is actually significant enough to make a pretty big difference in terms of casting director's opinion, producer director's opinion, and talent agent's opinion of you. If you're a young person, it is not necessary, strictly speaking, that you get professional headshots before getting an agent. This is what I've been told by agents, because they know that kids change all the time and they always need kids for their roster. But if you're an adult, having a professional headshot is more likely to help you get a good agent, right? Because of that very quick assessment. Now, and like I said, I try not to recommend any one photographer because there's like, for a couple of reasons. One, because there's a bunch of them who do it well. Two, because there's only a few of them who I've had headshots taken with personally, and so I can't vouch for the rest of them. There's a bunch of them with headshots on that gallery on Rocket Repo. Their headshots look amazing. So like look through and then look through somebody's website. And especially if you've looked at the gallery, you'll be able to tell the difference between like a really nice professional headshot and one that's almost there. Hopefully you can tell the difference. And if you can't, to ask a friend who's really good with visual things, and they can, help you sort it out. And the other thing is that schools, in the past have gotten into what I felt were ethically complicated relationships with professional headshot photographers, where there were like kickbacks or discounts, for each one of their students they recommended. And so I've just decided to opt out of that entirely by never recommending any specific headshot photographer. So that's why I won't answer your question with this guy. All right. Good. Well, you've tricked me into, talking about things instead of practicing. Kevin, Candy, now that you're here, planning 4 lessons a week is proving to be a little much for me. And so the Thursday, I started with Ask Me Anything. And then I want to spend a little bit of time practicing for the Actors Challenge, if we can. If so, does anybody have another question before I jump into the practice part of things? Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do then. I'm going to ask you to, I'm going to put in a copy of the link. So Actors Challenge Scene. Okay, here it is. And I want everybody to open it up on their device. And just give me a thumbs up or something, when you've got it, because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you into breakout rooms to practice. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. We've got 6 people here. And so my plan is, I don't know if I'm frozen. I can see that Candy's frozen, but can you all see me? Was I frozen for a little bit there? I'm back. Yes, no, all good. Okay, great. I couldn't tell because Candy's the only person's video I can see. So I'm going to put you into breakout rooms and so that you can run the lines together. And maybe what I'll do is I'll keep Candy and Olivia and Claudine here, and I'll put Dia and Kevin and Artie into the other room. Dia, would you mind, just for the purpose of the exercise, reading the Maddie sides? Then you get to freak out. It'll be really fun. Okay, great. So I'm going to put the three of you into a breakout room, and then I'll stay here with Candy and Olivia and Christian. Olivia, were you able to open that script? Olivia? Okay, maybe not. Yes, okay, good. And I can't hear you right now, Olivia. Are you able to unmute yourself for when we get to the practice as well?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Good. So signing up. Oh, I see. You've got the barking dog, and you're trying to.
Oh,
that's
me.
Okay. Here we go. What we're going to do is just take 5 minutes and go over the lines. So Artie, you're Tilly. Kevin, you are Hank, and Dia, you're Maddie. And then let's meet back here. And just read over it. Now, one of the things that I'd love for you to practice, if you've got it on your device, you've got a laptop, so it'll be harder for Candy, of course, is put the script directly in the middle, right below the camera. Yeah, so if you open it up and you make the script a little bit smaller and you put it directly in the middle of your iPad or computer monitor, or so that it's directly below the camera, then what you can do is look down for the lines and then look up to say it, and nobody will never know. I basically put it right below your eye line. Okay, we just so let's try that. Open all rooms. This is what I do when I run classes all the time. Okay, and then Olivia and Christian, or I just keep saying Christian's name.
It's okay. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
RT, did you get the invite to that breakout room? If you can go over there and run the Tilly lines with Dia and Kevin, that would be great.
Yep, got it.
Got it. Okay, and then let me open up that script and we'll look at it together. Yeah, and Claudine, I thought you might want to stay here so that if I'm working with Olivia, you could see the way that I choose to work with her. Yeah, and
right. I can only see the script. I can't see you now because I'm on an iPad.
Totally fine. So we'll just run over the lines then.
Okay.
Yeah. Artie, are you having trouble joining that other group?
Yeah. Now I can't see you. I can only see the script.
Okay, then Artie, then you're going to need to close the script or just switch back to the Zoom window. Do you know how to switch apps or switch programs on your device? So if you just go back to Zoom,
right,
then you'll see the join breakout room.
Oh, I did that.
Mm-hmm. Hasn't happened yet. Yeah, so you must just not have clicked the button. There she goes. Okay. So let's take it from the top of the scene. There she is. And this is Olivia, and then Claudine, let's get you to read Tilly.
Okay.
Claudine?
I'm Tilly. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, Tilly.
Hey, there she is.
Oh, okay, start. I can see where it says start. Okay. Hey, there she is.
No, that's my line. And see how it says Tilly? And then and here are the lines that are just under the word Tilly. So, hey, there she is.
Maddie, you remember Uncle Grady?
This is you, Olivia.
Hey, is there any place in this terrible state that actually has good cell reception?
Honey, oh, that's you. Sorry, go ahead.
Honey, come on.
Tilly, let me handle this. Look, Moody, Maddie.
What? You called me Moody?
No, I didn't. And then if you were preparing the Tilly lines, you would do this one, even though it's crossed out.
Oh, no, he didn't.
I think you did.
Moody, Maddie. Is that like what you call me behind my back?
No, your mother.
You think I'm moody? Am I too moody for you? you don't like all my moods?
No, sweetie, I love all your moods. Oh, that's
So you have moods.
Sorry, Claudine, go ahead.
No, sweetie, I love all your moods.
So you do think I have moods. Fine, I'll just have one mood. Then you can't call me moody anymore. This is my only mood.
Good. You know, and so, Olivia, when we get here, you think I'm moody. Can you just build like this is a 5, and then this is a 6, and this is a 7, and this is an 8, and this is a 9, and like this last thing is like, just like as big as you can go, just for fun. Will you do that for me? Just like totally freak out. So let's just take it from up here. Moody Maddie, is that what you call me behind my back? And Candy, if you're with us, you can read Hank's line here if you want. Go ahead, Olivia.
Okay. Moody? Maddie? Is that like what you call me behind my back?
Because you know it's going to get really upset later. Start a little further away from it. So just talk, just ask the line, you know, from that place of like, I'm gonna, like, if this is what you mean, I'm gonna freak out. You know, so just ask.
Moody? Maddie? Is that like what you call me behind my back?
You're gonna have to unmute yourself, Candy, if you want to play.
No, I just your mother.
You think I'm moody?
And then higher.
Moody?
Escalate.
You don't like all my moods?
Good. So you think I'm moody? Give me a 5.
You think I'm moody?
No, am I too moody for you? Give me a 6.
Am I too moody?
You don't like all my moods? Give me a 7.
You don't like all my moods?
Claudine?
Okay. No, sweetie, I love all your moods.
Give me an 8.
You think I have moods?
No, that was more of like a 5. You know, keep escalating. Give me an 8 with this.
So you do think I have moods? Yeah. Fine, I'll just have one mood.
Yeah.
Then you can't call me moody anymore. This is...
Yell it. Stay big.
Stay big.
This is my only mood.
This is my only mood.
Yeah. Really fun. Let's run it one more time and see if you can remember to do that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I know that but it's comedy. And so basically you remember yesterday's lesson, or I don't know if you're here for yesterday's lesson, where it was big feelings about stupid stuff. But you have to be so upset that we can laugh at you. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense, Olivia? Yeah. Yeah. So you're freaking out sort of much more than you normally would. Let's just take it from Moody Maddie. Is that what you call me behind my back? Go for it.
Moody? Maddie? Is that like what you call me behind my back?
No, I just your mother.
You think I'm moody? I'm too moody for you? You don't like all my moods?
Oh, sweetie, I love all your moods.
So you do think I have moods? Fine, I'll just have one mood. Then you can't call me moody anymore. This is only one mood.
Yeah, good. And just be careful because you're going moody anymore. This like, and you're having to ramp up. Stay up high there at the end if you can, just because it'll be funnier for us. You know, like, so don't hurt your voice, of course. Now I'm going to close the breakout rooms, and I'm going to bring back the other folks. And then we'll show them what we did, and they can show us what they did. Any questions about that? Claudine or Candy? Hey guys, so we'll show you this is us after like sort of 2 rounds of practice, and then and then I would love to hear your version of the scene as well. Okay, we're just taking it from here, Olivia. Same spot. Whenever you're ready.
Moody? Maddie? Is that like what you call me behind my back?
No, I just your mother.
You think I'm moody? Am I too moody for you? You don't like all my moods?
No, sweetie, I love all your moods.
So you do think I have moods? Fine, I'll just have one mood. Then you can't call me moody anymore. This is my only mood.
And scene. Yeah, so fun. Thanks, team. Okay, so let's hear Kevin and Artie and Dia. Are you taking it from the top of the scene, you three?
Yeah. Do you want to be Grady, Michael?
Yeah, perfect. I will. Hey, there she is. Artie, that's you. You might have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Hey, there she is.
Maddie, you remember Uncle Grady?
Hey, is there any place in this terrible state that actually has good cell reception?
Honey, come on.
Billy, let me handle this. Look, Moody, Maddie.
What, you called me Moody?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I think you did.
Moody Maddie? Is that like what you call me behind my back?
No, I just, your mother.
You think I'm moody? Am I too moody for you? You don't like all my moods?
No, sweetie. I love all your moods.
So you do? You think I have moods? Fine. I'll just have one mood. Then you can't call me moody anymore. This is my only mood.
Beautiful. Isn't it so interesting hearing the difference? Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for being brave and showing that off. So one of the things that I said to Olivia when we were prepping it was start with, do you think I'm moody? Give me a 5 and a 6 and a 7 and an 8 and a 9 and then stay at 10 right at the end. And so that's what we saw Olivia do because it's sort of more pure comedy. Now Dia's interpretation of this might actually be closer to the tone of this show. Like this might be more of a primetime comedy, in which case, they're going to want a more realistic portrayal. What I gave Olivia on purpose was something that's more in line with like that sort of pure comedy that I was talking about yesterday, where it's like more of a kid's show, which also is sort of a better fit for somebody Olivia's age. Great. Kevin, if you do decide to tape Hank, I loved how you took the note from yesterday of like taking out all the space in between the lines and just like jumping in right on the lines. Just make sure that you do the same thing with yourself when you accidentally say the word moody. Like it gets mostly out of your mouth and then you're like, oh, like you just know what a big deal it's going to be. And it's going to be fun to see those tapes with the different eye lines. So I hope some of you choose to tape it by Sunday night. Questions, comments before we wrap up? That was so fun. What a fun way to spend our Thursdays. Great. I can see now I can commit to doing that, right? Like show up, answer a couple of questions, do a little bit of practice for y'all. Great work, everybody. And I will see you on Monday. Tomorrow, you've got Leanne Lapp again. I hear she was fantastic last week.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
My pleasure.
Bye.